If I want it... Welcome to the Lemonade Podcast. We're singing Darude Sandstorm. There you go, that's how we begin it. Hello, and welcome to the Lemonade Podcast, episode 3, I do believe.
Yes, it is.
I'm Chris, and I'm here with my friends.
You're Darude.
Anyway, you guys introduce yourself and say your names, why not?
I'm Dion. I'm the other black one.
I'm Ben, and I'm not black.
We're definitely not black.
No.
I'm Joe, and I am half caste.
That's right, I'm the other white one. Let's go. So this is episode 3 of Lemonade Podcast. This week we're going to be talking about the first games we played on every games console and whether they hold up.
Not quite every games console, otherwise we will be here for an eternity.
True. We're going to skip most of the handheld consoles, minus one, which everyone really wants me to talk about for some reason.
For some reason, he says.
Yeah, come on.
All will be revealed.
But before we go any further, no, actually, no, never mind. Carry on. I'll edit that out. I was going to go into some spiel, but then I was like, that spiel doesn't really make sense.
Alright, well, cracking on with the topics then. Should we go in order of, like, when they were released, or... We should probably discuss this beforehand, but I was just thinking, because
What's the earliest console we've got on our lists? I'm assuming PS1, maybe? Well, technically,
I've got PS1. If anyone has the original Xbox...
The original
Xbox.
Xbox.
The GameCube.
The GameCube came out 2003, or 4.
Okay.
That was PS2 generation, so...
Was it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I also was early.
The PS1.
Hang on, I'm pulling up a timeline.
The PS1 was like 1995, so that would definitely be the earliest. Unless you want me to talk about the Sega Mega Drive, at which point I don't have that much to say about it. Other than I played Sonic on it. There you go.
So let's just say what the first console each of us ever had was, and then.
The first home console I ever had was the GameCube. Well, technically not. Technically, we had the aforementioned Sega Mega Drive, but the first one that was mine was the GameCube.
Marvellous.
Chris, is all this going in, or are you going to edit it out?
It's probably going to go in.
Oh, great.
Right, okay, first one, the earliest one I've got here, apart from the GameCube, would be the PlayStation 1. I've got a timeline up now.
Right, let's start with the PlayStation 1.
Okay, who wants to go first? Krishna, did you have one?
I had a PS1, but the only game I ever played on PS1 was the Toy Story movie tie-in game. I don't remember much about it, other than I was very confused on what to do next in it. So, if it's down to does that game stand up, no. It's not.
Oh yeah, that's the other part I don't remember if we actually said, but we're bringing up the game, and then we're also seeing whether or not it stands up to scrutiny nowadays.
Exactly. Is it still? Would you still, if someone put it from, if you sat down and played it now, would you be like, this is good, or not?
Hell no.
Right.
I feel like not yes.
I didn't even remember Toy Story having its own tie-in game.
It did.
It was on the PS1.
Makes sense. Came out the year afterwards, I think.
You see, the thing about the PS1, I'm not sure any game on the PS1, apart from like turn-based strategies like Final Fantasy VII or something like that, I'm not sure any of the games would stand up.
No, probably not. No. Like if they have a remaster, maybe, but as is, probably not.
Yeah, it's an odd question, isn't it? Really, but oh well.
I mean, they'll get better as the consoles go on, but for now, yeah, the PS1's mostly going to be moving on.
Well, I've never owned a PlayStation, so this is all you guys.
I also never owned a PlayStation 1. So.
Okay then, so it's just me then, and the game I had on PlayStation 1 was called Driver 2. Wow. The only thing I remember about the game, and the only thing I ever figured out about the game was you drove around the city. I can't even remember what the city was, but that was how I spent most of my time, and to be fair, I had a lot of fun doing it, because it still had the GTA mechanic of pissing off cops and just like driving around the city like a madman. So that's all that I did. I remember one time I managed to somehow, I must have been accidentally following the plot or something. I somehow managed to get out of the car once, and I never figured out how to do it again. Every time I loaded up the game afterwards, I was just always stuck in that car.
You figured out how to get the car once, but never again.
You hacked it.
No, I figured out how to get out of a car once. You spawn by default in a car. So I'd just drive around like a madman. And that one time I was like, oh, I did it.
I think in that series that you're not meant to get out of cars, though, if I remember correctly. Because the only experience I have with the Driver series is Driver San Francisco on the Xbox 360, and in that one you couldn't get out of cars. You had to like invade the minds of other drivers and like drive their cars instead.
The fuck?
Excuse me.
Are there superpowers in this?
The minds of other drivers.
Wait, Joe, you played it. I'm fairly sure you played it, Ben, as well, because we used to have like a
I
multiplayer
can remember
component.
it.
And
Yeah,
like
I can
it was like it was all set in like the main character's head. He was in like a coma, and he could like body hop between other drivers.
Oh
What the fuck?
my
I do
goodness.
sort of, when you were talking about it, I was like, I kind of remember.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
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 But it's such a difficult sort of blurry memory that
How-
I never
In
thought
what
to mind.
situation would we have all played that? Because I definitely didn't own it.
I'm fairly sure it was a demo, if I remember correctly.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
But going back to the original topic, whether or not Drive 2 stand up to scrutiny, it definitely does not. I've seen footage of it. It's that classic case of actually hell, it's not even that classic case of, because there's a lot of times where you think of an old game and be like, oh yeah, that must still be really good. No, I remember the graphics being shite even back then. The driving mechanics were just fun though.
Even Little Dylan, who was terrible.
Driver 2 definitely does not stand up to scrutiny.
I mean, it wasn't even received well at the time. Mixed or average reviews. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Bit of a dud there from Dylan.
But alright. Next console technically in the list is Nintendo 64. Does anyone else have that?
Definitely no.
No.
Well before my
I don't
time.
think so.
To be
Okay.
honest, PS1's before my time. It was released like the year I was born. So
It was released a year before I was born, and it was still my first console.
if I remember correctly, my PS1 we got in like a car boot sale, like Catterick Garrison or something like that.
I was going to say, my parents must have got the PS1 fucking cheap, because the PS2, which is the next one on the list, came out in 2000. So I was 4 years old when the PS2 came out, and I didn't get a PS2 until long after 2000.
You weren't worthy.
But yeah, PS2, gentlemen.
Again, never on the PlayStation.
Yep, naturally.
True,
Sorry.
true,
We'll
true.
get to the Xbox soon.
True gamer, that one. True gamer.
Yeah, damn right.
Actually, yeah, Ben, you haven't had a game yet.
Yes, the PlayStation 2 was my first console, and probably still my favourite. Because I don't know.
That's sacrilege.
It's just it just had great games.
Yeah, it did have a lot of good games, and it was backwards compatible, so the few good PS1 games that were available were also on it.
Yeah. So when I asked to get a PlayStation 2 for my birthday when I was like 7 or something, and I asked my parents for 3 games. I wanted a racing game, a Star Wars game, and just something else. So they went out and got me Gran Turismo 3, Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, and if I'm remembering correctly, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. If anyone remembers
What
that
the
franchise.
fuck is that?
I remember the TV show. I don't remember the game.
There was a TV show?
Well, I'm fairly sure the game would have been based on. Actually, maybe I'm thinking of the Tasmanian Devil. I don't know.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Tasmanian. The Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. It was you played as Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, and he had boomerangs that he threw at people in Australia. It's a good game.
Absolutely magical.
It's a good game.
What the fuck?
Absolutely magical.
It was like I think it was like a platformer kind of thing. It's good. But I think the first game it must have been Star Wars Jedi Starfighter because it was Star Wars, and I was like very excited to play it. But then I found out that you were in a Jedi Starfighter and not actually a Jedi using the Force, and I was very disappointed.
Did it break your wee heart?
It did.
My experience with Jedi Starfighter, which I bought many years later, was definitely not my first PS2 game. I bought it, and I think that's the game that cemented my dislike for space combat in video games. Because I played it, I was like, I am not having fun, like, at all. I was like, I don't want to fly spaceships in games, and I've never really enjoyed it since.
It's really interesting.
Was that because you'd got it years later and it was clunky, or just because you...
I honestly don't know,
Genuinely
because I was
hated
like 11, so like
fair enough.
any number of things could have been influencing that.
One thing I do remember is that you were the Jedi Starfighter and you could use your Force powers to like attack other ships, but you had Force lightning as a Jedi. and it was a bit weird. But
That's against the canon, that is.
yeah,
Not in the old canon, but
but asking if it still holds up, it does, because it was free on Xbox Live 2 months ago, and I got it and I played it, and it's
Wow.
amazing still.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Fair play.
really, that game still holds up.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's genuine. It's just a lot of fun.
Is there some sort of bias here?
There's a lot. I don't know. Probably nostalgia. But that's
How are we
I'm
doing
looking
this,
up
by the
images
way?
of the game.
Are we going through all the PlayStations and other ones, or?
Oh yeah, I'm going through like console release date. So the next one up is the Xbox.
Really? The game after interesting.
Xbox came out in the PS2 era. You forget they weren't competitors from the off.
No.
what's
Oh.
what's the time difference?
2001
1
is
year,
when the Xbox came out.
Oh, right.
and 2000 was the PS2.
Wow.
But yeah, so okay, that was Ben's first PS2 game. Krishna.
Well, you see, I have no
Oh
clue.
yeah,
I have no idea. I'm fairly sure we bought my PS2 like years after it came out at like a car boot sale again. So it could have been any number of things. I seem to remember it being either a Dynasty Warriors game or a Samurai Warriors game. And that cemented a lifetime love for that series, so I'll just say it was Samurai Warriors. That game does not hold up at all. Like at most they could have like 5 enemies on screen at the same time. So the epic battles like that you might associate with Dynasty Warriors, definitely not there. But I played the shit out of it, and I still play Dynasty Warriors to this day. So yeah,
oh.
So it was everything you wanted in life.
no,
No.
but it was something.
All right then. For my first PS2 game, it was actually a PS1 game because, like I said, the PS2 was backwards compatible. It was Star Wars Battlefront, the original, the OG. And by God, do I still love that game?
Wait. Wait.
Does it hold up on a
Wait,
technical
that's not
level?
a PS1 game.
I'm fairly sure that was a PS2 game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's PS1.
I thought Star Wars Battlefront 1 was like 2002 or
I'll take a gander, but
It appears it's caused a rift.
If that's true, my parents screwed me over.
For fuck's sake, why is it? No, not the bloody 2015 version. Stupid cunting thing.
Well, you see, that one was an Xbox One and PS4 game.
Was it? Oh,
Oh,
why was
really?
it called the same thing then? That just seems silly.
I know.
Oh.
Why didn't they call it Battlefront 3?
Because it was a reboot.
You know what? That's a topic for another time.
No, you are indeed correct. Enough mind then. So it was a PS2 game. It came out in 2004.
Because I was going to say
Aye.
that game looked beyond PS1's capabilities
Yeah.
by like a long shot.
I legit remember that being PS1 for some reason. But no, okay. Well, anyway, it still stands. My first PS2 game was Star Wars Battlefront. And whilst on a technical level, I'd probably say it probably still doesn't quite still stand up, but I would still happily sit down and play that game to this day. I fucking love that game to pieces.
In my mind, that means it stands up.
I would say the original Star Wars Battlefront. Controversial opinion. I like it better than Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's sequel one. I'd say it stands up better.
That's it.
Yeah, it has elements that I liked more, but I feel like the ideal Battlefront game would have been a mixture of the two, because Battlefront 1 had vehicles in ground combat, including aircraft, and then Battlefront 2, they put in space battles, but then they took out the flying aircraft from ground combat. I was like, God damn it, just mix the two already.
I'm fairly sure there was a PSP Battlefront which kind of mixed the two in that you could go from ground to space and
Yeah, I
back
had
again.
It did indeed. Battlefront Rogue Squadron, I do believe it was called,
I think
on the
that's-
PSP.
Which Battlefront had the Empire troops that were like they could jump, like jump troopers or something?
Battlefront 1 definitely had those.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Battlefront
sure
1
they were in
and
both
2
games.
Was it both?
Had those.
Yeah.
Except in Battlefront 1, if I remember correctly, they had like a little like shotgun thing. In Battlefront 2, they had like a weird electric gun which was useless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the loadout that changed.
Oh, God.
The only thing the
yeah.
electric gun was useful against was droids.
I still played as a jetpack, guys, because jetpacks
Yeah.
are awesome.
The jetpack
yeah, I
guy had
did.
like that EMP launcher thing, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
for the Clone Wars era. Yeah, that was pretty fucking cool. But yeah, off topic.
Should we,
Battlefront 1. I love that game.
Should we just stop the podcast and go play Battlefront 1?
Yeah, sounds good.
It is tempting. It is available on Steam, I do believe.
Is it?
I think we've got it, haven't we? I've got it, I think.
I've got Battlefront 2. I don't know about Battlefront 1.
I know I've got access to it through my Origin Access membership, so I could play it.
But right, yeah, that was my first PS2 game, and I would still happily sit down and play it to this fucking day.
Yeah.
Over the EA stuff, anytime.
Any die, mate, any die.
What's
But,
next?
alright then. What's next? Next, good sir, is the original Xbox that released in 2001. It was the black horse of the market at the time. And I also never owned it.
Sorry, Wikipedia.
That's Dion. Dion from the set of Peaky Blinders.
But yeah, so who owned an Xbox? Because I did not, so I can't help on this one.
I did.
I got that sweet Xbox joy.
I did not.
Alright then.
Oh, that's-
Joe, you haven't had a word yet, so you go first.
My first word is how sickening it was that half you guys didn't get an Xbox original.
Sorry.
It was The Boys. The
My-
absolute
I
boys.
played
I
I played on it multiple times when I went to my friend's house, but I never owned it.
I have an interesting story in how I acquired an Xbox, but I'll let you talk about your first game. Well, I imagine our first games are actually pretty similar, but will see.
We will see. It probably is. Mine's Combat Evolved.
Mine's
Halo.
also Combat Evolved.
What a shocker.
Yeah. Well, the reason it's the whole reason actually Combat Evolved was probably the one that got me into games in general. The first proper game I played. I went round to old neighbour's house, and he was sat down at TV, and he was playing this magical thing, and it was the second mission, and he was got out the escape pod, looked around, and I was like, this is blowing my little child's mind.
Little Joseph got his first erection.
I got my first rock hard member, and I never looked back because it was dope. And yes, it still holds up to this day in my mind.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like,
Yeah,
as first-person shooters go, you don't get much better feeling than Combat Evolved.
especially for that time. I remember I went back and played stuff like Time Splitters, and the control scheme and the way the looking and the moving works is just, it's not that sweet Halo thing.
Does your erection still hold up?
Every single time.
That's really good to know.
All it takes is a small monk to him to do some humming, and I'm there.
He's had that erection since he was 6 years old.
Yep, not lost it. Should have gone to a doctor already.
It's too late now.
It's gone. It's gone purple. Or
When
something.
I was like 10, I was quite the PlayStation fan. But when I first went to Red House, there was a young man by the name of Alex there who kept going on about Halo. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of that before, and I wanted to play it. And then, coincidentally, like a month or two later, my uncle bought a house. And in his new house, in a random closet, he found an Xbox just there. And he was like, do you want it? And I was like, yes. And it came along with GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and Combat Evolved. My parents instantly confiscated the GTA, so I never played them. But Combat Evolved, I played that one, and it was great.
What kind of look is that? They buy a house and there just happens to be an Xbox there. No one would leave a console nowadays.
It was a remarkable coincidence.
It's a beautiful thing, is what it is, to be honest.
So technically, I never bought an original Xbox. We just found someone else's in a house and took it. So yeah,
Technically,
that's
I never bought one.
my Xbox story.
How many of us bought our consoles, to be honest?
Well, I mean, my family, my parent, we never bought that console. We just found it.
The first
Someone.
console I bought was the Xbox One.
I've never bought any of mine, actually. Like, personally, with my own money.
You sicken me, you tramp.
I think Nintendo Switch is the only one I bought with money that came from my bank account. Outside of that, they've all been like birthday gifts or something like that.
That makes you sound really spoiled.
You know, you said it. No, we were, we grew up with them. I don't think many children tend to buy their own consoles.
No.
I don't think that's how it works.
I mean, it depends on like. I come from a fairly privileged family, I guess. So they were bought. Like a lot of people have to like get summer jobs and save up. I was lucky enough that my parents were pretty amenable to buying me stuff. But mostly for birthdays and Christmas and stuff like that. It wasn't just like I came home one day, I was like, Mother, get out the butler, send him down to game. I want a new Xbox right this moment. It was like, like a birthday gift.
Is that what you sounded like at that age?
Yes, I was very posh.
Mother?
Actually, no, on me sounding posh as a child, I did not sound... We recently found like an old videotape recorder and plugged it into our TV, and it was like a Christmas tape from like 1999 or something like that. I was 3. And I had the thickest Bolton accent you could have... Like, I crawled underneath the Christmas tree, and I was like... it was like... I almost banged my head there. That's literally exactly how I said it when I was 3 years old. I was like, Jesus Christ! I sound like I'm salt of the earth Bolton on this recording.
I cannot picture that at all.
I can't, but I really want to hear it.
Incredible image. Just a
I was very Bolton.
Yes, and thank God for it as well.
Oh dear. Well, any more passing comments on Combat Evolved before we move on?
Oh, that's what we were talking about. I
It
was
was.
just thinking about Chris and wonder who's Christmas tree.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was a rather amusing video. Mostly because I'd never heard what I'd sounded like when I was a child, because all the videos are like locked on ancient 90s technology and no one can access it anymore.
Yeah.
So it was, luckily, my grandma died, so we had her TV that was like pretty old. So we could plug the video camera into the TV, and as such we could watch the shit from it. Turns out I sounded exactly like the most common person you could find in Bolton. So there's that.
When did it all change, I wonder?
Red House, it changed me forever.
Red House.
Yeah.
They beat
We
it
all
out
went
of
to
you,
a
so-
private
Well-
school. Of course, we came out kind of posh.
Because
Been some privilege before.
apparently, when we first moved here, I started picking up a northeast accent, and I started saying like a load of because I was like 6 when we moved here, and everyone I spoke to had a northeast accent. So apparently, I picked that up at some point. But by the time I got to Red House, I guess that had been beaten out of me, and then I became posh. But with the occasional Boltonisms thrown in there.
I don't remember us having posh accents at Red House, but maybe we did. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I can
it's
safely say, apart from
relative,
obviously,
isn't it?
yeah, you're never really going to notice it yourself.
I guess not.
Compared to the majority of the Northeast, yeah, we don't really have a hugely thick accent, but it's definitely
No.
there. And if you go anywhere else other than Northeast, like, you a Geordie? No, sir, no, I'm not.
People can
So annoying.
people I talk to can. Well, it's not the people I talk to. I feel like I have still got a bit of Bolton in me. I say my in tits and done tits and stuff like that instead of I shorten words all the time. But I always get called posh, and my mum really tries to like remove that from her voice because she hates the Bolton accent. And every time she speaks to anyone around here, they're like, "Where do you come from, Bolton?" There was even like once we went to a cashier, and like literally she didn't even know where Bolton was or what town that was. She was like, "You sound kind of like that Peter Kay off the television." And like my mum's like, "No, I am dying deaths on the inside."
Oh, poor woman. You sound a bit like Peter Kay. I bet that crushed her.
It did. She's very self-conscious about it. But we should probably talk about games consoles soon enough.
Yes, moving on.
Oh, all right. Well, if we're moving on to technically what came out next, then this segues us nicely into Chris's bonus one with the Nintendo DS.
Ah, the Nintendo DS. So, because I was a spoiled... Well, it was the DS kit. I don't know what month it came out, but I remember wanting it around my birthday. So I was like, hey,
Came out
parents...
2004.
Yeah, do you know the month specifically? Was it close-ish to August? Because I remember
I just got the year here.
I remember it because it was like it was coming up to my birthday, and that's all I wanted. Even though like I didn't really have any, there were no games I wanted to play on it. So we went and bought it, and we didn't want any DS games. But like you want to buy games, and I think at the time it came bundled. You got to pick like 2 DS games in like the bundle we bought from Game, and one of those games
It did.
was the first DS game I played by the name of Project Rub. A game in which you play a schlubby-ish dude who gets with a hot girl, and you spend the majority of your time, like, rubbing her down. And, like, poking scorpions off her back. Occasionally applying sun cream. Okay? Something less nefarious. No, that's more nefarious, now that I think about it.
It's
Please.
safe, though.
Please tell the viewers, the listeners, how old were you When you were rubbing
2000
Where were you when you were rubbing it?
This came out on the 21st of November 2004 is when the DS came out.
Oh, so it must have been 2005 I got it then.
So
Because
you've been rubbing
it
it
was
since 2005.
it was definitely a birthday purchase, and that would have been my 10th birthday.
Hell of a birthday.
I remember because my parents were very squeamish about age ratings. Like when I'd mentioned before with GTA, they took that shit off me as soon as I got it with the original Xbox. So this one was like a 12s, and like the guy who sold it to us probably shouldn't have sold it to us because he knew it was going to a 10-year-old. But at any rate,
He just wanted
my
to
parents
sweet
my parents were like, "Is this okay for him? He's only 10 and it's a 12s." And the guy was like, "It's fine, whatever." And I just never showed them that game because
I was going to say, because they took
Became a
GTA
guilty
off
pleasure.
you, but they didn't take this.
I mean, the cover alone is a girl in a bikini. I mean, surely that's like... Don't give
for a
that to
10-year-old boy, this was
Project
very
Rub.
risky.
Incredibly.
Like,
Yeah,
just literally from the title alone, Project Rub is your parents should be like, something's not right here.
The game's called. It's got a lady in a bikini on the front. It's called Project Rub. Feel the magic.
stop.
This game is
Oh.
not for children.
Feel
It's not
the
for
magic.
children.
Incredible.
Also, somehow, paradoxically, Project Rub came out on the 16th of November, so it came out 5 days before the DS was released.
Well, there you go. I don't know. It could all like it was very touchscreen based because you were rubbing this girl down a
I
lot.
bet it was.
So, like, I don't know how. It was definitely only on DS. It wasn't released for any other platforms.
I'm on the Wikipedia page for this, and it says the minigames involved tapping, scribbling, and blowing into the microphone.
Yeah, on some of
Sorry.
the mini games, like you had to like. Well, if I remember correctly, it was like you were in a sauna or something like that.
Oh,
You had to like
of course.
blow the steam away, stuff like that.
Yeah,
They
sure.
call it a sauna.
Yeah. To blow the steam away.
So
Oh,
it was also surprisingly quite a difficult game, if I remember correctly. Like, because you like played through like one set, and then you get like a more difficult set of levels, which are the same mini games except harder. So it was quite difficult. Like there was one mini game where you had to like the hot lady clenched her ankle in the middle of the road, and it was also a bull festival. So like a herd of bulls were coming at her, so you had to stand in front of her with a gun and shoot the bulls as they came at you, and you had to tap on them. I remember that game getting really difficult. I'm not gonna lie,
Incredible.
especially playing it one-handed.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Lord.
perfect.
No, but weirdly enough, I'd say Project Rub actually does kind of stand up to this day. It was just a load of touch-based minigames, but they were reasonably fun.
It got good reviews. IGN gave it
I bet it did.
IGN gave it 7.8.
Nintendo Life gave
7.8.
it 8 out of 10.
What were the
Nintendo Life,
back
goddammit,
then-
it's Nintendo.
Back then, did they have like the bonus points, like the positives about the game, or
Oh, I don't know.
I want to know.
I remember if you rubbed the lady just right, she'd get happy.
Apparently... Oh, what?
Why are you surprised by this?
Oh, no, also on the Scorpion minigame, things are coming back to me now. On the Scorpion minigame, you tap the scorpions away so, they didn't stab her, but occasionally her bikini would become undone at the back, and then you'd
Oh,
have to, like, do it back up again, and
Course
then
it did.
continue poking the scorpions off her.
Yes, I'm sure you kept failing at that bit as well.
You
There was no nudity. This was 12 plus by the BBFC. It's there was no
The
nudity.
images online, the women are all they're just black figures, they're not actually detailed. So I'll give them that. They did censor it, sort of.
Can we take a?
I imagine it was
5-minute
far
break?
less. I imagine it was far less censored in Japan.
I think we should do
Oh, most
we should,
definitely.
We should do a playthrough.
A playthrough
God.
of rubbing it out.
Look, if I can find my copy of Project Rub and also rig up a system to record a DS, I will stream it on Twitch. But that would require a lot of work.
I found
It would
an
also be
article
perfect.
here saying why Project Rub and its prequel, Rub Rabbits, were the best games on Nintendo DS. Someone's
Would
written
you
that.
look at that?
What
I'm
the fuck?
so intrigued to know why.
Excuse me, it was developed by Sonic Team.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at the back of the. Yeah, it's a Sega game, so that
What
kind
the
of makes
fuck?
sense.
Stuff.
Oh god, should we swiftly move on?
Yes.
Oh, do we have to? This is such a magical experience.
Got
But it was
plenty
magical
of
for little 10-year-old Chris. It was.
So, Chris, does it stand up today?
Surprisingly, yes, it was a pretty good game. Like the mini games were actually pretty, well featured and fun.
Tense.
All right.
When those bulls were racing, were charging down the hot girl. Yes, it was quite tense. Okay, maybe the hot girl won't survive. Maybe I won't find the love of my life in this Nintendo DS game. Who knows?
Maybe not.
Okay, well, moving on from what was 2004, 2005, we have the Xbox 360 being released. I assume we all had the 360. In fact, I'm
Really?
certain we all had the 360.
That's a lot earlier than I thought.
I didn't get my 360 until it was the year after Halo 3 came out. So I got my 360 2008, I think.
I got my 360 in 2009. Like, really late, apparently.
I didn't get mine till 2010, I think, because I just joined you guys at Red House.
There you go.
2006 for old Joey.
Look at him, the veteran.
Well, I've just been around for a while, guys. What can I say?
Well then, veteran, what was your first game?
It's a game that 100% holds up, and it is called The Elder Scrolls 4. Oblivion.
I do believe we've discussed this twice in the previous two podcasts.
We have. Yes.
But do regale us. Do you think this game stands up today, and why?
100% stands up today. Class modes, best writing. It's the perfect marriage of the Elder Scrolls games, and yes, we've discussed it to death in many of our other podcasts, which you should definitely go watch if you've got a spare 10 hours.
I was going to say part 2 over part 1 if you're looking for a condensed version.
Yeah. But the most condensed is yes, it definitely holds up. It's definitely notorious for being awkward, clunky, and just hilarious. It's probably the most memed game I've ever seen. But
it is a Bethesda game.
It's a Bethesda game, and for all of its ridiculous qualities, it's still an incredibly immersive, fantastic game. So yeah, it holds up.
Moving on. Benjamin, what was your 360 game?
My first 360 game was Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh, another game we've also discussed.
We have discussed this in length, and yes, it still holds up.
I would agree with the
Did it
sentiment,
ever
so I
hold
would
up
still
there?
happily play that.
Yes, it
Ooh,
did.
shut the fuck up, you heathen.
Yeah, talked about it to death. It's amazing. Made me get the console. I remember, actually, like, you were all talking about Modern Warfare 2 at the time? Well, not all of you.
Probably.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't have, like, I had a PS2 and a Wii at that point, and I was like, I really want to get in on this stuff. But then I wasn't really interested in Call of Duty, and then Batman.
You weren't like the other boys, were you, Ben?
I wasn't. I was different from other children. The
I was
doctors,
very into Call of Duty.
the doctors said so. Yeah, you all were. Like, you were all going on about it, and I was like, I don't know. And then Batman came out, and I got that instead. And never looked back. And it still holds up. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I've been meaning to replay it recently, especially after our discussions of it in the last few weeks. I really want to play it again.
I also really want to play it again, but I played it like 3 months ago. At this rate, I'm going to be replaying all the Arkham games like 3 times a year. I played them so much.
I remember it's like the opening of the game, and like you're like walking through the corridor into intensive treatment with the Joker, and been playing like
Hostile villains.
playing like the PS2 and the Wii before that, and seeing like this, I was like, this is amazing. It still blows me away.
Was this Benjamin's first erection?
Yes, and it never went away. And then I got a bat symbol tattooed on it. So right on the
Right. Is it kind of like the bat light thing? Shines in the air.
Yeah.
Must
Christian
be
Bale
difficult
wise.
to keep up the erection once, it was being tattooed.
What's it called? The bat symbol?
The bat signal.
That's it.
Get your terminology right, you heathen.
I
also-
prefer bat light, to be honest.
It's got a little utility belt around the. You know what? Let's stop.
It's very fun at parties.
I bet.
It's my trick.
Oh, please no.
And then everyone runs away, and I get arrested.
Understandably.
Jesus.
So it was good then, was it?
Yeah, it was a good game.
And
Moving
it
on.
holds up. Good, yes.
Alright then. Krishna. Your
Right.
first Xbox 360 game.
My Xbox 360 game. Now, I bought my Xbox 360 for Halo 3, so I imagine it was Halo 3, but also on the same day, because there was like a lot of pack-ins, I got 2 other games. Well, technically, one of them was many games, and one of them was another game. And I'm fairly sure I actually played some of these other games before Halo 3. Maybe, I think it's because it was on my birthday, I didn't want to be like, hey, guys, fuck off, I'm playing the campaign of Halo 3. Instead, I'll play... So I got this, like, little, like, it was like a disc that was many different old arcade games, and also new arcade games, and games I don't even know if they exist anymore, that were all bundled on it. So, my first games were quite likely something called Boom Boom Rocket, Luxor 2, and Uno.
Why do you
So,
play
yeah, one
just
of
the
those.
weirdest, most obscure... Okay, I see. Uno's not that obscure, but...
I also had Civilization Revolution.
Oh, wow.
I got that one for 360 on the first day I owned it. I never played more than 10 minutes of it.
I can't picture Civ on console being good.
And to the question of do any of those games hold up, no fucking clue. No idea. I don't know. Because I'm fairly sure I played them for like an hour before I was like, guys, I'm going to play Halo 3 instead.
I got Halo 3 at the same time. When I got my Xbox 360, I got Arkham Asylum and Halo 3, and I played Arkham Asylum first, and then Halo. So it was like a bundle, I think. Bundles were big.
Bundle of joy and love.
They were way back when. You used to get multiple games in bundles. Now it's mostly just one.
It depends on the deal that you get. When I bought my PS4, I got Uncharted and a game and Red Dead Redemption. No, my PS4 Pro. I mean, I got a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 and another game with it, which I sold because I already owned Red Dead Redemption 2 and had no desire to play it again. So you can still get pack-ins, is I guess the point I was making.
Okay, fair enough. To be fair, I never really look for these deals because I so rarely buy the consoles. Because now we're at the stage of our lives where we have to buy it ourselves. Hey, it's a case of usually I wait until like years later when there's a game I really want for the console.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with money, so I sell a lot of stuff and put my bank account into the negative to buy things.
See,
It's a bad habit.
I'm a hoarder. I can't sell things. I never. Sorry.
It's got to the point where I'm at bedrock now. Like, I there's nothing more I can sell because I like all my stuff, which is very inconvenient when I want to buy new graphics cards and stuff.
I still have all my PS2 games, all 60 of them at home, just sat there.
I still have a decent amount of PS2 games. That's mostly because the last time I went to sell games, I brought them all along. I was like, oh, I'll get a decent amount of money for these. And it took him like half an hour. He went through each one of them. He was like, at the end, he was like, yeah, that we can give you £16 for all of these. I was like, no. I'm not going to give you like 50 games for like £16
So sad.
because most of them are worth about 50p each. Many of them a lot less.
Yep, I remember those days, except I did exactly what you did, but I said yes, because I didn't give a shit. I got the new console, and I was like, I'm never going to play these again.
I was offended. I was like, really? £16?
£16 for this big chunk of my life?
For this treasure trove?
How dare you, sir?
Do you realise
do
what
you
this means to me?
What do you mean Spartan Total Warrior's worth only 28p? Fuck you! Fuck you entirely! Goodbye, good sir! And I
God,
stormed out.
I think I played that once.
I imagine you storm me out with an exclusively Bolton accent.
At the time, probably not.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, Lord,
Right.
Lord.
Well, on to the... Oh, sorry, hang on.
Be sorry.
Unprofessional, Dion. The final Xbox 360 entry, which is mine, was, funnily enough, Ben had brought it up earlier, Modern Warfare 2.
Oh,
My lord.
Because in terms of with what order I got the consoles, I actually had the PS3 before I had the Xbox 360, but
too.
I was heavily ingrained in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 at the time with my new friends at Red House, and then we all transitioned to the 360, and I also brought along Call of Duty as my first game, and then swiftly Halo was thrust upon me afterwards, but I was still playing Call of Duty first. And I would still say Modern Warfare 2 holds up to this day. It's a pretty damn good campaign, and the multiplayer progression system as well, especially, I thought was really good and really fun.
See, the problem with talking about an old Call of Duty holding up is that it was so reliant on its multiplayer servers and being in the zeitgeist. I'm not sure I could play Modern Warfare 2 now, because I'm not, everyone's playing the latest Call of Duty, so I don't really care about the campaigns, so
that, and by the time Call of Duty's lifespan ends, at least back then, it was full of hackers. I remember that. Holy shit.
I remember you were all like really excited about it, and I was desperately like trying to fit in with everyone. So I kept trying to join in and be like, "Oh, that shotgun attachment, hey!" I didn't know what I was talking about. And
That shotgun attachment, eh?
something like that. Because you all kept going on about the shotgun attachment. I was like, "This sounds really. I should talk about this. I need to be cool." And then I never played it. So
Little did you know we weren't cool. So there was no cool to be had anywhere.
I thought you were. Cool.
Speak for yourself, Christopher. Coolest kid on campus.
Yes, of course. But no, I mean, to be fair, this is all before because I think we went from we all went from Call of Duty to Halo, and then we also started playing Battlefield at some point as well in replacement of Call of Duty.
Technically for me, because I was a child very easily influenced by those around me, I was on Halo, and then when everyone like went to Call of Duty, I was like, yeah, no, Halo sucks, I'm Call of Duty all the way. and then after that, I flipped back to Halo when everyone was like, no, Halo's actually the superior one. I'm like, yeah, I thought that all along. I've loved Halo. I've played it since I was 10. Easily influenced I was as a wee lad.
I never gave a shit about the debate. I would just play whatever everyone else was playing. I ended up liking both series, and then eventually I started hating Call of Duty, but that wasn't for years to come. And Battlefield, I remember the first one we all played together, at least I assume it's the one we all first played together, was Bad Company 2, and I fucking loved
Oh,
Battlefield.
fantastic! Yeah, that game's great.
Oh, I miss that game so much.
It's great.
That's a good game.
That was definitely peak Battlefield for me.
Yeah,
It was for me as well.
As much as I really like Battlefield 1, specifically. And Battlefield 4 was good as well. But, yeah, Bad Company 2 was where it was at.
I still remember, because they didn't have tracking rocket launchers in Bad Company 2, you had that fucking gun where you had to shoot it so that someone else with the rocket launcher could track it. And half the match would be trying to shoot the helicopter with that fucking thing. Because the helicopter keeps wrecking your team's tanks and leveling all the buildings. Because this was back when in Battlefield, pretty much every building was destructible. And I fucking loved that. You go from Call of Duty, where no destructibility, to this, where it's just like, oh my god, everything's blowing up around me.
My horse is falling down. And by horse, I mean house. And otherwise, a horse.
I mean, if someone shot your horse, I'd assume it would fall down.
I think a tank shell would do that. Or an Apache missile strike.
I think it would be more than fall down. I think you'd be riding red mist at that point.
Entirely possible. Good name for a horse.
Anyway.
Red mist. I like it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, okay. That was me being sidetracked. Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 would still happily replay it to this day, but not as much as other games. I probably will play it again at some point. Don't know when though. Okay, next in the list, we go from 2005. Oh no, I forgot. 2006. We have the Nintendo Wii.
Hey, Wii Sports.
Wii Sports.
It's Wii Sports.
Is there a person live who had the Wii and didn't play Wii Sports first?
I mean,
Wii Sports literally came with every Wii. It was the first thing that you'd see when you opened up the box. So it's like the game to play.
And it was incredibly fun for like the first 2 days.
do you remember where like everyone got it and they were like everyone was like standing around being like jumping around being all energetic? You realised you could just do it just as well, just sat on the sofa, just like wiggling your hand a little bit.
Yeah.
I was late to catch on to that one, so I'd still be jumping around. But my sister, like literally from day one, she was like, just flick the Wiimote and we'd get like perfect scores and everything. I was like, why am I jumping around? Why am I an idiot?
I still remember all the stories when it. Oh, sorry, go on.
Sorry, who was talking first?
I don't know. There were three of us talking there.
Madness.
Joe, go first.
No, I had nothing to say.
Okay,
go first.
I was just thinking. I think every household in the country had a Wii, and it was like the go-to console when everyone came around to like to.
It was the party console.
Yeah, exactly. To distract the children, get the Wii out. Get the Wii out.
Distract the pensioners as well.
Even like
pensioners love the Wii.
Years later, like we had people coming over and we're like, oh, we need to like think of something fun to do. Get the Wii out, and it was like crusty and full of dust and everything.
later in the Wii's life cycle, I developed a healthy hatred for the Wii. Because every time anyone came over, like my dad's friends would come around, their kids would be around, it would always be SingStar that we brought out. Now, I'm cripplingly shy, and I really don't like doing it, but nobody else would do it, and they'd be like, Christopher, you sing. I'm like, okay. Okay. I don't know any of the pop songs, I don't know anything, but I developed a healthy hatred for the bloody Wii and SingStar.
Yeah, I can't picture you singing pop songs. Like, we've had you, like, improvise sing many times.
Do you sing...
Just like the Pokemon theme and stuff.
Do you sing in a Bolton accent?
I might have, once upon a time.
Funny enough, mate, I have a Wii in the house right now.
Oh.
We got it from someone.
Do you use it for anything?
We used it maybe the first week we got it, and it was fun for maybe like half an hour. Or an hour.
Yeah.
Not even that. And then it was kind of... we'd never touched it again.
I mean, that's kind of the story of the Wii in general.
It really is. Yeah.
Everyone got a Wii, it was fun for like a week, and then you forgot about it.
I think there was a couple of great games on the Wii. Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda, I actually think that game's great.
See, I always wanted to play the good games on the Wii, but I technically never owned the Wii. It was my sister's Wii. In the way that children divide up those things, like, of course, like, the Xbox 360 wasn't really my 360, but it was my 360, goddammit. It was mine, whereas the Wii was hers. So, I never really played any of the games on the Wii.
I also played the Wii port of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
I was about to bring that up as well.
Oh, really?
I was going to say, the one thing the Wii had that I absolutely adored was Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and also, for some reason, and I don't know why, I don't know if you know this as well, Ben, but the Wii had, like, one superior feature. Oh, technically two. One, it had a versus mode, which was actually quite fun.
Yeah.
But the second one, which is the one that bugged me more, was because when I got a PS3, I bought it on the PS3 instead because I was like, oh, it looks better, which it did. The PS3 was very graphically superior to the Wii, actually. But on the Wii version, because you could customize the main character's outfits, on the Wii version, it updated the cutscenes. In the PlayStation version, it didn't. And it bugged the shit out of me.
Oh, wow, oh, wow, I didn't know that.
It was very annoying having gone from the Wii to the PlayStation and be like, why doesn't it do this? I feel like the PlayStation should be able to do that.
If I remember correctly as well, the Wii had a different story. Like, it had different bosses in it, at any rate.
It was a very, very different game. Like, I think you go to different planets, almost. It's very different.
But no, yeah, the versus mode as well, that was really fun, but I had no one to play it with at that time, because I was living in the Middle East, and you don't really casually go to people's houses in the Middle East, because it's fucking hot. And it takes a while to get there.
I was thinking of very different reasons when you were first saying that, but
I wasn't in a war zone. Although we did have American fighters flying over our school regularly.
Wow.
Just checking see if there's any oil sprouting up.
Bringing it back to Wii Sports.
Oh yeah.
We've been on the Wii a while.
Well, what was your like favorite sport on Wii Sports?
Bowling.
Boxing.
Yeah, bowling probably.
See, I like golf.
I mean, golf was a strong second, but I was shit at golf. And I was pretty good at bowling.
Yeah.
For me, it was bowling, followed by tennis, followed by golf.
Oh yeah, I forgot about tennis.
Tennis.
Tennis was the strong second. Never mind.
Yeah, tennis was second. Sorry.
I still remember all the stories when the Wii first came out, and everyone was like, people keep smashing their TVs because they aren't putting the straps on the remotes.
People are fucking silly, man.
Oh,
Christ.
The question is, would we all still... Would it hold up now? Would we play it now?
I played it recently enough.
Oh.
But... yeah, I mean, like, it's as good as it... Like, there's no reason not to. It's just boring as fuck now.
Yeah.
There's no reason to say, oh, it's technically just shit now. It's the same sort of thing. You get the same enjoyment out of it. It's just you're completely bored with the novelty of it.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I imagine we'd have the same reaction as we did when we first got it. Like, it'd be fun for the first half an hour to an hour, and then be like, okay, I'm done now.
Yeah. So for me, no.
Fair.
I was also going to say no.
I agree.
Mostly because I know all the tricks now. We should just sit on the chair and go. Like, I was doing a hand movement as if anyone could see me. I'd sit on the chair and lightly wiggle my right hand until all the games were won.
I consider this. That was a pretty good hand movement.
Never mind.
I'm doing a hand movement right now.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
Care to not explain
So
it?
that's all that constant noise has been in the background.
Oh,
Yep.
like a squelching sound.
Oh,
Anyway, shall we
I would
move on to the
also
next
say
console?
it does not hold up. So yes, the next console, which is also 2006, is the PlayStation 3. Who here had it?
I did. Still have it. The big old bulky bitch lives under my desk.
That little oven?
I do not. I never had a PlayStation 3.
Alright then, Chris, you first, because I remember, Joe, you said you haven't had a PlayStation, right?
Never owned a PlayStation because PlayStations are for scrubby doodles.
Well, as the two scrubs here, Krishna, what was your first PS3 game?
I don't know. But if I had to guess, it was probably Uncharted.
That's uncharted territory, that is.
The first
Oh.
one, or?
Yeah, the first Uncharted.
Good one.
I remember it must have been the first Uncharted, because I'm not sure what other game I would have played on the PS3. Unless it was like the DS, where I bought the PS3 and then played PS2 games on it all the time. It could have been that way around, I can't remember. But, no, I'll say it's Uncharted.
Alright,
And that
and
game-
does it hold up?
That game's good. It's not nearly as good as any of the other Uncharted's, and it's really clunky when you play it. It's like Arkham Asylum to City. Like, it's good. It's a great game with a great story and all that sort of stuff, but if you play the newer ones and then play the old one, it really doesn't feel good anymore.
What's that for, Ben?
I don't know about that Asylum City comparison. I don't know. But we can go into that another time.
Okay, yeah, that's a different topic. But if so, from what I'm understanding then, if you were new to Uncharted, you could possibly play it and still find it fine, but if you've played the later ones, then...
If you were new to Uncharted, I wouldn't suggest you play the PS3 version of Uncharted. I'd say you get the Nathan Drake collection on PS4, which added some Uncharted 3 elements to Uncharted 1, so the gunplay is a bit smoother and there's more features. And really, when you come down Uncharted 1 has the environment's just kind of dull. You're in like a jungle a lot of the time. Whereas in other Uncharted games, you go from snow to desert to marsh to jungle. You know, you're all over the place. So it's a good game, but like, play the PS4 version.
So the original Uncharted as is, you wouldn't recommend them?
No, but I would recommend the game, but in the remastered capacity.
Aye, fair enough. As for my first PS3 game, that was another Call of Duty game, Call of Duty World at War. And God
What a dope game.
damn, do I love that game to this day. I'd still play it over and over again. I still occasionally, I think at least once a year, it's kind of like a tradition, I'll just go back and play it. So I'd say it still holds up. This is Call of Duty back when, it was still good. They made an awesome single player story. The American front, not that great, but the Russian front was so much fun. So much fun. And well, I won't say educational, but still just, you learn things.
I learnt war was bad. That's what I learnt.
It's
I think it was the first time that I'd ever really interfaced with, I think that's the first time I ever figured out what the Red Army was, specifically.
No, I mean, this game, this is kind of back when Call of Duty, some would say back when Call of Duty still had balls. Obviously, I can't speak for that now because I haven't played any of the newer ones, but, because you'd see, the goods and bads of both sides. Obviously, you'd see, the atrocities the Japanese would commit, but then going back to our front where it's like, oh, we're fighting the Nazis, they're naturally evil, we're the good guys, and then you see the Russians gunning down innocent Germans, and you're like, oh shit. Okay then. And this was back when I was in secondary school, but my parents didn't really care about age ratings, so Oh. But no, yeah. Great game. The mechanics still reasonably hold up, just don't play it on harder difficulties. It's grenade spam for days. If you value your sanity, do not play it on harder difficulties. Oh. Alright then. We're approaching the end of our console talk here, I do believe. Okay. The list I had seems to have run out. I don't remember which one came out first. PS4 or the Xbox One.
If I remember correctly, it was the Xbox One. But
just talk about those.
I could be wrong. I think they came out so close to each other that I'm not sure it matters which came out first. But
for now, we'll do the Xbox One. Everyone here had one, maybe?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That was...
Okay, then.
Xbox One was like... Oh, no, actually, 360 was more like the golden age, wasn't it? Everyone was on Xbox Live then.
Yeah, it was.
I suppose,
The
yeah.
Xbox One came after gaming PCs, and it wasn't
Yeah.
as good as a gaming PC, so it never
Yeah.
caught on. I played a lot of Xbox One, but that's me.
What was everyone's
being a silly
first
sausage.
Xbox One game?
I don't
Master Chief Collection.
know.
Mine was also the Master Chief Collection.
And
Mine,
you guys never played your Xbox Ones again, really, so that showed how
Yeah,
good that was.
Red Dead.
mine was probably a Halo game of some form. That would be the only reason I would have bought an Xbox at that time, was for a Halo game. So
Yep.
I'll have either been Halo 5 or the Master Chief Collection.
there we go.
Both great games.
I don't think you
At
can
the time,
simply
though-
say the Master Chief Collection was good on release.
Oh, it was terrible on release. It's a great game now. Xbox version or PC version, it's great now, if you ask me.
What were the release problems? I actually can't remember.
Everything.
Oh,
If you wanted to play the game with other people, it was effectively broken. In every conceivable way you could think of.
Yeah, it was properly messed up, wasn't it?
like what kind of issues?
Desyncs, lag, you couldn't find any multiplayer games, and when you did, you got dropped all the time.
Forge didn't work.
Yeah.
I still remember us trying to play through Halo 2, Chris.
It made for some delightfully hilarious moments.
Oh, it was hilarious, but it was painful at the same time, especially since we were playing Legendary as well. We were doing Lasso, thankfully, but Legendary, it was just,
Was the thingy broken as well? The co-op?
Yeah, no, if you wanted to play the game with another person in any form over the internet, the game was bought.
I remember
so-
one mission, Chris and I had both gotten into tanks, and then at one point I was like, Chris, what are you doing? Chris's tank was just basically driving face first into a wall, almost backflipping all the time. And Chris was like, no, Dion, we're not in tanks anymore. We're on foot, and I need you to follow my orders, because it was Chris's version that would desync us, or rather, so if I died in Chris's version of events, then we'd actually reset, whereas in my version, neither of us would ever die, because we were in tanks, and we'd already killed all the enemies, so I was basically sitting there blind whilst Chris was directing me to cover, whilst he fought off all the enemies single-handedly.
That sounds magical for all the wrong reasons.
It was hilarious,
was.
good fun, but it was terrible at the same time.
It was so confusing.
It sounds
I just wanted to enjoy Halo 2.
It sounds like an intense level of teamwork that was never required
Or
before.
intended.
Yes, or intended, yes.
Oh,
I mean, I'd like literally every time we'd spawn, I'd be like, okay, right, we're under attack, Dion. You'd have to walk 10 steps to the left, jump, and then I'd be like, while fighting the flood in another corner. Okay, right, now get into the corner, crouch, crawl up this bit, and then we just quit in the end because it was impossible.
And keeping in mind, this was my first time playing Halo 2, because I never played the original Halo 2, and I really wanted to know the story, because I know a lot of people love Halo 2, and even I was excited about the remaster, because goddamn, those graphics are fucking beautiful. But, oh, no, it was sad times. But the Master Chief Collection, thankfully fixed. Does it hold up to this day? In its release date, fuck no. As it is now, because people are still playing it to this day, and it's now even ported to PC, fuck yes.
Yes.
It holds up better than any of the rest.
In
Maybe
fact,
it
we were
came out
playing
like-
it but an hour ago.
Yeah. It's
And
kinda-
then it crashed.
Oh yeah, it did.
Incredible.
God damn it.
Well, there's that.
Oh,
Strong
fuck.
endorsement from us.
Yep.
I'll quickly do my first Xbox One game. I bought my Xbox One before any Halo games had come out because I like new shiny things, and it was the only thing I could think of for my birthday in 2014 or 13, whenever the fuck the thing came out. I got Watch Dogs, which is a fine game.
Oh,
It
yeah,
exists.
that was a thing.
It exists.
It's on sale right now on Steam. Yeah.
It's that game that's famous for being falsely advertised at E3 with better graphics.
Yeah. That was the first
From the
time like
first ones, isn't it?
downgrades were like noticeable.
Yeah, I remember that's the first time those things became an issue.
I mean, ignoring
then-
controversy like that, the game is a good game. It's a little uninspired. Other than that, it's it's fine.
Would you say it holds up, though? Would you go back and play it now?
Yeah,
or
no,
would it
it's-
be a very dull experience.
It's very playable, and the story's fine and serviceable. If you have nothing better to do, play the game. It's good enough.
You don't sound like
That's
you
a
would
glowing
play it.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it holds up, but if you have the option of playing any new game that came out this year or Watch Dogs, you play the any new game that came out this year.
Yeah, fair.
It's a fine game, it's playable, it holds up, it's fun, it's, play Watch Dogs 2 instead. Or Watch Dogs Legion when it comes out next year, probably at this point.
That one I'm kind of looking forward to, just because of how hilarious the E3 demo was.
Oh, the golden girls. Golden ladies.
Yes.
That'll be actually... It does look quite interesting, actually, but I don't get excited.
I don't know if I'll actually get it, but...
No, I won't get it. I'm
Not
too
since
cheap
Rome
and
2.
boring.
Watch Dogs 2 was good. Maybe way better than Watch Dogs. So I have confidence that Watch Dogs Legion will be really good.
Alright. Well, that's the Xbox One. Moving on to the last/second last, depending on how we do this, console. The PlayStation 4.
Say it ain't so.
Ben, do you have this one?
I do. I got it for Christmas last year,
Is it 2019 or 2018?
2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we can all do it then. What was your first PS4 game then?
Me?
Yes, you.
It was God of War. That's what I got it for. And
Ah.
yes, I certainly do not regret it because like that. I mean, of course, it holds up. It's
I was going to say, I think it might hold up just a tad.
I mean, it's just one of the best games I've ever played. So, yeah.
Is this coming from a God of War fan or someone who was new to God of War?
No, I did actually play God of War 3 on the PS3. When it, someone at uni bought a PS3 and I had that with it, so I played it. And that is a really good game. But yeah, it's just everything. The combat is amazing. The story is amazing. The mythology is amazing. And Kratos is amazing. The kid's amazing.
I'm amazing.
The giant snake is amazing.
The giant snake. Who's giant snake?
The world serpent.
Jormungandr. No.
What?
So the
that's
world's
poetry.
giant
Come on.
snake.
If I had one criticism of that game, is that I wish there were more Norse gods in it. I was waiting the whole game for Thor to turn up, and he
God of War 2, baby.
yeah, and I was like waiting for Odin to turn up, but I didn't. And Loki to turn up. We didn't see any of them. But
Well, spoilers, I'm not going to say that. Technically, I bought a PS4 for God of War, but I bought my PS4 Pro for God of War. So, I guess I also bought a PS4 for that game.
And does it still hold up?
No, it's shit. I bought my original PS4 very specifically for Uncharted 4, because I was a massive fan of Uncharted.
Oh,
that
a
game's
4
very
for
good.
a 4.
Oh, baby! That's the exact sentiment I wanted to hear from you, Jeff.
I'm glad I lived up to it.
Well contributed. No, it's a good game. Play it now. It's great.
Alright.
Fantastic.
Jesus. And my PS4 game was The Last of Us Remastered, because I never bought it when it was around on PS3, and I really wanted to play it. And holy shit, I do not regret it. Although this opening half an hour, fuck you game, it was a bit of a heart wrencher. Fuck you.
Sorry, don't spoil anything for me because I've got it sat waiting to play, and I haven't played it
Oh
yet.
shit. Okay then, I'll shut the fuck up.
In what's becoming a bit of a theme for me, I bought The Last of Us Remastered, and I
I'm
played
waiting
the
for it.
first 40 minutes of it.
45. Yep.
And then I never played it again.
God damn it, Chris.
Well,
I have
you
it on
should've done
disc, it's
once.
over there, but I keep meaning to play it, and I will before Last of Us 2 comes out. But, I might even stream it, who knows. But, I'll get into it
You
one day.
play games for about 40-45 minutes and then giving up.
Hey, if a game doesn't catch me straight away, maybe it ain't worth playing. You know?
I don't agree with that statement.
We've all done it. Got loads of games. I've done that.
We have all done it, but Chris seems to do it for all.
Or
Well, we all do it. I do it almost exclusively for games that people adore.
yeah,
And known
Yes.
for being very good.
fair enough.
Ah, right, okay. But yeah, no, Last of Us Remastered, fucking excellent. I would definitely recommend it. Ben, I look forward to hearing your reaction to it.
Yes.
But otherwise, okay, that's sort of it. But I mean, we've actually been reasonably quick about this, so quick bonus round of first PC games, if anyone can
Oh, I
remember,
have
apart from
one
me.
console left, actually.
You did?
The Nintendo Switch, good sir. It was my
Oh,
final
yes.
console I had on my list.
What's
I
that?
also have that, so go for it.
My first Nintendo Switch game was the only game that was worth buying on launch day, which was Breath of the Wild. Legend of Zelda.
Hmm.
It's a top 20 game of all time. If you like
What?
that sort of thing, I guess. Enjoy it. Play it. Buy a Switch. Do it now.
I guess I'll quickly for my one then, because I also have Nintendo Switch. Mine was Fire Emblem Three Houses. Yeah, no, I'd also recommend that game. Thoroughly fun. I'm trying to think of a summary in my head, but it's gonna take too long. I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared. It's a good game though. Try it.
Just as a side note about the Nintendo Switch, it's like it has like a lot of quality games on it, and is also like a delightful indie machine. And it's quickly like made like it has a strong run on being my favorite games console. Like a very strong run on getting that title.
No, I would agree with the sentiment, especially because unlike in the past where it's like the handheld things kind of died down with a lot of the other companies and stuff, the Nintendo Switch doesn't. I remember when the Switch was first announced, and I was like, "Oh, here we go, Nintendo's being gimmicky again." And then it released, and then people were like, "It's really good." And then I bought it myself, and I was like, "This is actually, yeah, no, I love this. I love being able to just plug it into my TV, play games like a normal console." And then just take it out with me and carry on playing. It's fucking fantastic.
There's a weird magic to it where I just feel like I feel more joy when I play games on like Switch. Like I played Skyrim on Switch again. I was like, I've not enjoyed Skyrim that much in quite a while, and I played it on Switch. I was like, I love Skyrim. I'll play it more.
It's a 9-year-old game now.
There's a weird magic to the Switch, but anyway, that's all the consoles.
All right. Do you want to cover PC as well, or can people not remember their first PC games?
It's like so early for me.
Okay then.
I can't
Oh
remember.
no, my Discord's dead.
First gaming PC game would be Shogun, but I have played
Hello.
PC games before that. But
I mean, my first game on a PC would probably be Arthur's Computer Adventure, the point-and-click game.
does it hold up then? Does it hold up?
I played the shit out of that game. I tell you what, there was one little bit where you could control a little toy helicopter, and that was the peak of gaming for me when I was like 2.
Sounds like an amazing time.
Does it hold up? Probably not.
It's reasonable. Played all sorts of random PC games, like random demos and stuff. I remember playing Doom and all that nonsense. So, but like this is reaching way too far back to remember what my first one was.
I mean, I played like some like weird like back when I was like 10. You'd go to like Tesco and they'd have like this is like Sonic 3 on a random CD-ROM that you can just buy in Tesco. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll pick that up, and then played Sonic 3 on my like laptop. And I'm like, oh, cool, did that. And then so I played like a lot of like weird PC games.
Apologies, my Discord just died for like the last minute. I have no idea what any of you just said.
Oh, stuff.
We were just
Well,
wrapping up.
it's probably time to wrap this up then.
Okay, well, quickly, mine was Total War Shogun 2. Great strategy game, go play it. The height of Total War.
Play
Oh,
it
yeah.
if you like games.
Or don't.
Especially if you like games.
And even if,
If
you don't,
if you like Japan, no, don't play it. Terrible representation of old Japan.
terribly good.
And that was the Lemonade Podcast. Thank you for joining us this week.
You can do it, Chris, come on.
I don't really have much to say. Please like, comment, and subscribe and all the good stuff. Dislike it if you didn't like it, because I want engagement, goddammit. Get down in the comments and call me a little bitch. I guess, if you got this far, say, Christopher, you sound like you're from Bolton and you're a little bitch. I want that comment exactly down there, okay?
Why
Like,
did you
comment,
turn really
subscribe.
posh as you said that?
Because I needed to compensate for the Boltonian in me.
And to be fair, you are a little bitch.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitch, where Dion does things, and hopefully more of us will do things on there soon. And
Eventually.
keep your eye on the space, because Blunt Lemons is back with a vengeance. Now say bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ra!
See you
Toodaloo.
later, sweet pea.